Coolpad Conjr won't turn any heads. With a grey plastic body and brushed aluminum sides, it follows the standard formula for budget phones aspiring for a premium look. It feels nicely built, however the plastic is sturdy and doesn't creak or flex. The metal sides are nice, and the gloss on front curves to meet the edges. Along the side you will find all the standard buttons and ports. There's a power button on the right, with a SIM and microSD card slot above it. We had no trouble using a 256GB card, either as internal storage or to transfer files and photos. Alternatively, you can plug in a second SIM. The left side has a volume upper, while the top and bottom host a 3.5mm audio jack and micro USB charging port, respectively. The back has a fingerprint sensor that supports a variety of additional functions ranging from a camera shutter key to answering calls and silencing alarms. The front of the phone has capacitive navigation buttons along the bottom lip and a fairly large bezel around a 5-inch, 1280 by 720 IPS panel. The resolution works out 294 pixels per inch. Text and video look sharp, matching the A30. Viewing angles are good, but the screen is rather reflective and doesn't get bright enough to see easily in direct sunlight. Like most unlocked phones, the Conjr is GSM only and supports LTE bands, allowing it to operate on AT&T and T-Mobile. We tested it on T-Mobile in Midtown Manhattan, where we saw average network performance, with download and upload speeds in the low single digits. The A30 recorded higher speeds, but since both phones support the same network bands, the Conjr likely just ran into some network congestion. Other connectivity protocols include 2.4G HDWI Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.1. There is no NFC, a common omission for phones in this price range. Call quality is decent. Voices are natural and free from the harsh or robotic tones that plague many lower-end handsets, but we did encounter southeastern instances of skipping. Noise cancellation is good, blotting out most background noise, and earpiece volume is decent. The back-facing speaker is tinny and not particularly useful, however. The Conjr is powered by a quad-core MediaTek MT6735 CP processor clocked at 1.0 GHz. Despite a reasonable 3GB of RAM, the Conjr is bogged down in real-life performance by its heavy UI layer. Even though you can run a number of apps in the background, switching between them is quite slow. The phone lags when scrolling through menus, launching apps, and swapping between the back and front cameras as playing high-end games like GTA San Andreas is theoretically possible, but the controls are sluggish, frames are dropped, and the graphics suffer from artifacts and flickering textures. Battery life is lackluster. The phone fought just 3 hours, 35 minutes when streaming full-screen video over LTE at maximum brightness. There's a power-saving mode that tamps down screen brightness and restricts background processes, and a battery optimization feature to tell you what apps are draining your juice. The Conjr has a decent 13-megapixel rear camera. In daylight, with a steady hand, it takes reasonably sharp shots. Low light performance is poor, however. The camera struggles to focus and most of the shots we took came off blurry. Using the manual controls to adjust exposure, focus, shutter speed, ISO, and white balance can help improve shots to some extent, but they can't work miracles. The 8-megapixel front-facing camera takes clear enough pictures, but the auto exposure struggles with backgrounds. Under direct sunlight, images are soft and washed out, while in more shadowy areas the foreground gets cast into darkness. The phone also records 1080p video at 30 fps, but we experienced some shakiness and the auto exposure didn't always kick in at the right time. While some affordable phones like the Alcatel A30 have started shipping with newer VRSIONS of Android software, the Conjr still runs Android 6.0 Marshmallow. It's about 2 years old now, and you're unlikely to get any updates. The phone is also weighed down by interface changes that are a far cry from shtick. For starters, the APP drawer is gone and apps are splashed across the home screen Infinity style. App icons have been redesigned, the settings menu is cluttered and packed with new functions, and the notification shade has been altered. Swiping up reveals a control center that's more or less a direct copy of iOS.
Because the King-JR is an unblocked phone, you won't find any carrier bloatware. Most of the additions from coolpad are system apps like Folder, Music, Sound Recorder, and Sync Toolkit. Out of 16 GB of internal storage, you have 10.02 GB available, with the option of adding the microSD card.